Hi everyone, my name is Denali and today we're going to be talking about team development. This presentation is going to include why teams are so important. It is also going to include some of the stages of team development as well as what it takes to be a good team member. Okay, so define Wieland's interpretation of why groups are essential and discuss why your group is vital to this project. Groups are essential because they allow or create a space where people can come together and work on complex problems together. Wieland believes that working collaboratively leads to tackling projects that are beyond a single person's capability. Additionally, Wieland states that working together increases knowledge base and a sense of belongingness and growth, which allows for greater outcomes rather than working alone. And I do agree. I think my group is essential for my project because we have collectively brought in ideas for this project that I don't think I could have brought in by myself. It's allowed me to make friends and feel like I am a part of something, especially because our classes are mainly online. I've actually gotten to meet some people, and it's also allowed me to make the best of circumstances when I was a leader in Module 2, which is a role that I would usually not jump into. I had to make the best of it because my team is depending on me to be successful in this phase of the project. Define Wieland's interpretation of how groups move from a group to a team. Discuss how your group is moving from a group to a team. So according to Wieland, groups move from a group to a team through 4 different stages. These stages include factors such as leader dependency, role acceptance, task conflicts, conflict resolution, team efficiency, and proactiveness. I do think that my group has moved on now to become a team because we have now started to equally place an effort without needing to depend solely on the leader of that project phase. We listen to ideas and actively give feedback to each other and take it as constructive criticism. There has been instances where a group member has actually corrected me on instructions, and we have found a way to move through those conversations to our task in a healthy manner. So I do think that that is a very good show that we have become a team now. So here we're defining how Wieland's interpretation of how teams navigate stage 1 of group development, and also discussing how my team has navigated through stage 1. According to Wieland, groups move from a group to a team in stages of 4, like we've discussed prior. The first is called dependency and inclusion. During this stage, group members are characterized by dependency on a designated leader, where members urge a strong leader to make choices and give them instructions. In this stage, people are also concerned about their personal safety within that group. Of course, they want to feel like they belong to the group and they are accepted by their team members. And during the stage, it is normal for group members to fear rejection. And also, they tend to communicate in very polite ways in fear of creating conflict. I do think that my group has moved past this stage because we are equally proactive without needing the leader to give us instruction or assign task. We kind of just state what task we are doing during that step of the project, and we also give each other good feedback without feeling like we are resentful of each other, as well as we have gotten very familiar with each other, and I think that everybody feels accepted in my team. Wieland's second stage of team development is counterdependency and fights. During this second stage, conflict is inevitable within the groups. This stage does include conflict about group values, dissatisfaction of group roles, and disagreement about final goals for the project. Wieland does state that conflict resolution usually leads to trust, and that conflict resolution must occur so that these groups can move on to the third phase. And when these type of conflicts are not resolved, teams usually revert to leader dependency. The positive to this phase is that role and goal clarification begin, member participation increases, and if conflict resolution is successful, then teams work well in cohesion. And I do think that my group has moved on from this stage because most of us have successfully been group leaders during a part of the group project, and I think that signals that we are able to fit ourselves into different roles and collectively work together. We also discuss and clarify goals on our assignments, as well as maintain a cohesive environment during our group projects. So Whelan does talk about what it takes to be a group team member. This is a little bit of a summary. So not blaming others for group problems. Of course, we have a tendency to blame the leaders for problems that are in the team, but we have to take other things into consideration as well. Encouraging the process of goal, role, and task clarification. Keep asking questions until you understand a task. So Whelan says that sometimes when we keep asking questions, it might not just clarify things for us, but also for other group members that are too shy to ask questions. Next, encouraging the adoption of open communication. This includes having everyone have input and actively listen to feedback. I think this has to do a lot with active or constructive criticism, as well as being respectful of others and listening to what they have to say. Next is promoting an appropriate ratio of tasks and making sure that tasks on a project are split equally. Of course, equal division of labor is important because we don't want to make people like we have bullied them into doing a major part of the project. Next is promoting effective problem solving and decision making procedures, promoting group cohesion and cooperation. Of course, that means just making a friendly atmosphere so that everyone feels like they are welcome and they are open to have or place their opinions into our group work. And lastly, supporting freedom of expression, innovation, and productivity. Trying new things is a good thing. It can always lead to greater outcomes, so I feel like that is a very good tip. What am I doing to be an effective team member? I think I'm really good at practicing constructive criticism, as well as actively listening to others and what they would like to say about our project. I am also actively making a friendlier atmosphere for everyone, so they feel like they are welcome into our group. Based on the book chapters, my recommendations to facilitate team members to meet their objectives for each module would be to be ready and positive about taking different roles. Of course, not a lot of people are excited to be the team leader, but sometimes you can learn many things that are beneficial not only for school, but also that you can use in work or in life. Encourage freedom of speech and active listening. I think that's something that everyone has to practice. Of course, we want to create a friendly work environment where people feel free to have their input and also feel like the feedback they are receiving is told to them in a good manner. And support innovation. Sometimes trying new things is a good thing, and it can lead to greater outcomes, and it might just step up your project a notch. So yeah, I think that's something that I would recommend for teams to practice as well as my team. So this right here is my leader checklist. I feel like overall I did pretty well. My strengths would be positive feedback, reviewing expectations, and comfortable with decision making and encouraging participation within the group. My weaknesses would be lack of setting high standards and lack of motivation for acting as a leader, as well as reviewing quality expectations early. So in the future, I will definitely be working to set high standards initially, so that we don't have to make so many corrections at last minute. And also I am becoming actively more comfortable with taking the role of a leader. So this is my team performance checklist. Some of our strengths would be open communication and constructive criticism, which I feel like we've done pretty well on that during these last few weeks. Weaknesses would be to need to set group goals early on. So our action plan for the next steps of this project would be to come together early and set goals so that we can focus on the end goals of our group project.